Hey everyone, just doing a quick video to show the printer that I use for printing my small photos. I am using a different camera for this part, so we will see how this turns out. But look, you can see my feet. Anyways, I use a Canon Pixma MG6220. I bought it from Best Buy. You can no longer get it at Best Buy, but you can get it on Amazon. Really what makes the small pictures work is the software, not so much the printer, so I'll show you what I mean when I get to that part of this. But anyways, people ask me what printer I have, and this is what I have. They do have a new version out, the 6320. I don't know anything about it. Only reason I got this one was because when I bought my Mac, the printer I had wouldn't talk to it. Not a shock. And so I got this one so that my printer and my Mac would talk to each other and play nice, and they do very well. It is a rear load, which is important to me, and a front load. There's a tray down here. I only use the rear load. The bottom tray is only for my son's schoolwork. I never, ever use the lower tray because everything that I do is very individual. So I use the rear tray for everything. It's the number one thing I look for when I'm buying a new printer is that it has a rear feeding tray. This is also a scanner. I don't use it very much. And then the top of it has, it's all touch screen. So you can pick out your different things. I have to say it's kind of annoying because it is on the top, so when you touch it, it pushes the buttons. But I don't use it much. I usually have a towel over it to keep the dust off of it, and that's about all I use. I turn the power on and off, and I use the rear feeding tray. Let's see. The other thing that I use a lot of is I use this dollar store paper. You get 20 sheets, 4x6. It's glossy, which is too bad, but it is awesome. It dries really fast. It prints beautiful, beautiful photos, and it is cheap. So if you're looking for just to throw it in your book type photos, I recommend the dollar store, or well, I get mine at the Dollar Tree, I guess is what it's called, but it's the cheap dollar photo paper, and it works beautifully. Anyways, so that's the printer that I use. I will hook you up with links to that, and then we'll go off to see how the software works. Hang in there, stay tuned. So good, at least this part of it. And then I forgot to turn the darn microphone on. Alright, so back to what I was saying. This is the software that I use with my Canon printer. If you own a Canon printer, you can use this software. I've used it with the last 3 Canon printers that I've owned. It came free with it. You can download it from Canon.com. I will put the link below. It does not, from what I read, it does not work with any other types of printers, so this is, you know, brand specific. I used to have HP printers though, and I know that their software will also print little tiny photos. So look into your printer software, whatever it came with it, and it probably will do this exact same thing. But this is the one that I use, and that's what the question was, is how do you print your small photos? So this is how I print my small photos. The software is called Canon Easy Photo Print EX, and basically it does all the work for me. I don't edit my photos in this, I just print my photos with this. There are much better ways to edit your photos. I cannot recommend PicMonkey.com enough. It is awesome, it is free. If you don't know how to do anything with your photos, go to PicMonkey.com. It won't matter, you can use it. Okay, that's my little, I'm not paid or anything by them, it's just when you find a really good thing that works, you gotta share it. It's like scrappy tape. Anyways, so this is the software that I use to print my photos for like my Life as It's Happening book, or any of my little tiny photos like for my new smoosh planner. You open the software, it looks like this. I always pick photo print. It takes a minute to open. It is actually a relatively slow running software for some odd reason, since it's not very big. I don't know what its problem is, but anyways, we'll let it load, and we'll let it load, and it works, so I don't complain. That, and I'm just too lazy to figure out anything else, to be honest. But, okay, so once you get to, well, it's coming. Come on. There it goes. Once you click on the print your photos, or print photos, photo print, it takes you to this screen. And what you do here is you select the photos that you want to print. I'll just pick these bottom 4, just for example's sake. So select the photos that you want, go to the next thing, which will be select your paper, And again, like I said, it really is a slow-moving software, and I have the attention span of an ant, so it does frustrate me at times, even though it's probably not that slow. I always use 4x6 or 8.5 by 11. And I always use, if you're using the Dollar Tree photo paper, I use the regular glossy photo paper, and it seems to print them out beautifully. Again, the only drawback to the dollar store paper, well, actually with any glossy photo paper, unless you get some really high quality ones, they scratch. But I don't care for what I'm using them for, and so I'm good with this. So I usually click 4x6. I do photo noise reduction because why not? I don't do vivid photo because that's insane amounts of ink and you just don't need it. I always choose my rear paper tray because, again, like I said before, that's the tray I use. And then I click my layout and my print. And as you can see, this is the cheat, if you will. It has all of these different templates. This is just the templates for 4x6. It has different ones depending on which paper you pick. And you can go anywhere from doing, you know, a whole one photo per 4x6 sheet. You can add a border to it. You can do borderless, 2 on a page with a border. You can do an index one. You could do microscopically itty bitty teeny weeny photos if you wanted to do. I usually use this one, which is an ID photo one. I don't know what size this is. It's approximately 2-ish by 1 3/4-ish. But it prints 6 photos, so every 6 days I print 6 photos, and voila! I have them for my smoosh planner. You can edit them a little bit in here. The only thing I ever do for editing the photos is I crop them or change the rotation. If you want to change the rotation, for example, I just want this half of this in my photo, so I would come up here, I would click to turn it, and now, as you can see, it's turned. And since all of this I don't want, I would just change the cropping, and I'm going through this fast. If you have this software and you have questions, leave me a comment and I will slow it down. But in general, it's kind of Canon specific, so if you don't have a Canon, you're not going to care. Anyways, so I would crop it. It gives you your rule of thirds cropping, which I love, and voila. So now it'll print the whole thing here. Like I said, you can change the orientation. You can move the photos around if you want. I don't really care because I'm going to cut them all apart. And then you can just, like I said, you can come down and choose any of these sides. Next thing you would do is you would hit print. I'm obviously not going to print it. And it tells you right here, don't touch it. Okay, it doesn't say that, but I learned don't touch it. It'll do your default. It usually defaults to the best settings that your printer can go. And so I just leave it. The next screen that comes up will be your print screen that basically says, you can change all this stuff. Don't do it. I just hit print from here and it'll print it out via my rear tray and I will have photos. So that is how I print my photos, my little tiny photos. There are other software that you can use. If you have questions about how I get the different shaped photos that I use on some of my pages, let me know and I will show you what I use for that. I have several recommendations. I like Photor, F-O-T-O-R for Mac. I like Photoscape for Windows, and I like PicMonkey for all of it. And then this is, again, Canon Easy Photo Print EX for the Canon printer software for what I use to print my small photos. Hope that answered your question. If you have more questions, you're confused, you want to see something else, or I don't know, whatever, leave me a comment and I'll whip up a video for it. Thanks for watching, you guys. I hope this is helping out somebody. You guys just have a super duper wonderful beachy day. Bye!